Now, from what I understand here in Los Angeles, there are approximately, what, 25,000 people homeless on any given night? Is that about right? 25,000?
Actually, the National Coalition for Homeless Veterans, their study shows...
I mean, overall, not particularly veterans.
No, there's far greater than that.
Oh, really?
Yes. The National Coalition for Homeless Veterans shows that there are 49,000 homeless veterans in Los Angeles County. Now,
really?
That's in Los Angeles County.
In the county, right.
Right. And to take care of that, they have 1,873 beds that are available for those 49,000 homeless veterans.
And where are they?
Yeah, exactly. They are all over the county.
Right.
They're not specifically in Los Angeles. They in Los Angeles City. There are programs on the West Los Angeles campus. There's programs down in Long Beach at the Villages at Cabrillo. There's a program in Inglewood. There's some. So there are programs and beds available. There are some. The missions downtown have a certain percentage of beds that they're supposed to designate specifically for veterans. You know, whether that's being done or not, I'm sure there's a certain percentage of veterans who actually go in there. So I have no fear that they're covering, they're covering their quota,
right.
Or meeting their percentage. So.
No, I understand approximately 4%, 5% of homeless veterans are females. Is that about right?
That's about accurate.
Now, who is your typical homeless veteran? Who would that be? And why, and how come they're in that particular situation?
Well, currently what we're seeing through our outreach and our street teams, we're seeing the homeless veteran right now is, the majority of them are Vietnam combat veterans or Vietnam veterans. Now, when we say combat veterans, I have to make a difference between a Vietnam era veteran and a Vietnam combat veteran, because the Vietnam era goes up until 1986. So I'm a post-Vietnam era veteran,
right.
And I was in from 86 to 90. So they make up the majority. Vietnam era veterans make up the majority of homeless veterans on the streets.
So these are people who are mostly in their 50s and 60s now.
Mostly in their, right. Yep, and
they've always been homeless, or
no, not at all.
I mean, it's not like you get out of the service in the 1970s or 80s and then become homeless right away. Right,
and there
What's
is
a major reason for their homelessness?
Well, there's a long process to homelessness. Okay. I mean, people just don't come out of the service and all of a sudden. I should say, in general, people don't come out of the service and go right on the streets. There are a few cases where that certainly happens. But typically, it's a process. Homelessness for veterans is a process. You come out of combat, or you get separated from the service. You go into your normal life, or you try and get back into as normal life as possible. Over a period of time, if you're a combat veteran, for instance, over a period of time, you start to develop symptoms of PTSD. We start to...
Which is
post-traumatic stress disorder, right.
Yeah. And just to find out for a second, for those folks out there that may not know what specifically, they may have heard about it, and I think there's a lot more attention being brought to PTSD, but I don't think a lot of people really know what that is. Could you explain that just a little bit?
Sure. Yeah, PTSD has been around for forever. Right. I mean, for any combat veteran, it typically started out as shell shock, World War II veterans, combat stress in Vietnam, combat fatigue. Right. It's been called many names until the 90s, when actually Shad and Dr. Charles Figley helped coin the term post-traumatic stress disorder. Now, what that is, as Shad likes to say, is a normal reaction to an abnormal situation.